Birds are watching you. No, seriously, they're watching you right now. From power lines, from rooftops, from that one tree that definitely did not have a bird in it 5 seconds ago, until the exact moment you stepped outside. And if that sentence just made you think, oh great, another birds aren't real video, relax. Take off the tinfoil hat, because today, we're not here to say birds are CIA drones secretly uploading your browsing history to a Pentagon server farm. We're here to answer the question, are birds secretly spying on us? And the answer to that is yes, just not in the way you think. Today, we're taking one of the internet's favorite jokes and pulling it apart just enough to reveal something that's way more fascinating than a meme. Because while birds aren't spying on us in the way conspiracy theories suggest, they are watching us constantly, learning our habits, recognizing individual people, and adjusting their behavior around us in ways that are surprisingly calculated. And this isn't just speculation, it's documented science. But first, to understand why birds watch us at all, we need to start with how birds see the world. Many species have higher visual acuity than humans, meaning they can resolve fine details at greater distances. And it goes deeper than that. Birds can see ultraviolet light. That means they are seeing a layer of reality that is literally invisible to you and me. While you look at a tree and see plain green leaves, they are seeing glowing trails of urine left by rodents, or the ripeness of a fruit glowing like a neon sign. How awesome is that? But here's where things get really wild. As you may or may not know, the human eye processes visual information at roughly 60 Hz. This is basically the frame rate of your eyes. For humans, if a light flashes faster than 60 times a second, or 60 Hz, it looks like a steady beam. It's called critical flicker fusion frequency, or CFF. But a study on raptors, specifically peregrine falcons, shows their CFF is upwards of 129 Hz. That is more than double human processing speed, which means to a bird, you are living in slow motion. When you try to shoo a pigeon and you think you're moving fast, to them, you are moving through molasses. They are analyzing your micro-expressions, the twitch of your hand, the shift in your weight, long before your brain has even finished sending the signal to your muscles. You can't surprise these little creatures because, physically speaking, they're reacting to the future version of you. Let that sink in. Their brains are wired for rapid visual assessment, motion tracking, and pattern recognition, and nowhere is this superpower more obvious than in birds like crows and ravens, which are some of the most intelligent non-human animals on the planet. These birds don't just react, they plan, problem solve, and remember. In controlled studies, crows have been shown to recognize individual human faces and associate them with good or bad experiences. One of the most famous examples comes from the University of Washington's Crow Study, led by Professor John Marslow. A few researchers captured and tagged 7 crows while wearing creepy rubber human masks. They released them afterwards, and the researchers left. Years later, those researchers returned to the same area wearing those same creepy masks, and immediately over 40 crows started to cuss them out. Over 40! How is this even possible? And what's even crazier is that those crows that were originally trapped were likely long gone, which means those birds didn't just remember the researchers, they told other crows. That means birds aren't just watching you, they're talking about you. If you annoy a crow, you aren't just making one enemy, you are being blacklisted by a local surveillance network that spans generations. If you throw a rock at a crow today, a crow born 3 years from now might hate you for it. Congratulations, you've been profiled. And as ridiculous as that sounds, this kind of social learning is actually essential because birds don't live long enough to rely purely on trial and error. Sharing information lets them adapt faster than evolution ever could. When one bird figures out which humans are dangerous, generous, predictable, or harmless, that knowledge spreads. Over time, entire populations adjust their behavior around us, often in ways so subtle that we barely notice them happening. And it's not just crows. Pigeons, yes, the so-called flying rats, can distinguish between individual human faces in both photos and real life. Mockingbirds can remember the locations of past threats and will aggressively defend nesting sites against people they recognize as dangerous, while ignoring others entirely. Even tiny songbirds perform risk assessments, where they weigh the likelihood of danger based on previous human behavior, distance, speed of approach, and context. In other words, birds don't treat humans as a single category. They treat us as individuals. This becomes especially clear in the cities, where birds have basically run a massive, uncontrolled experiment on human behavior. Studies have shown that city birds have learned traffic patterns, park routines, and even garbage schedules. Some birds will even drop nuts onto roads so cars can crack them open, then wait until the way is clear before grabbing the food. Others learn which cafes leave doors open, which dumpsters are accessible, and which neighborhoods are dangerous at certain times of day. These behaviors aren't hardwired into their brain, they are survival tactics that they've learned from living in a world dominated by humans. And over thousands of years, birds have become incredibly good students of human behavior. They followed us as we farmed, because farming creates food. They followed us into cities because cities became a buffet of new food sources. So all birds really are trying to do is adapt to our environments. I mean, we are the ones destroying their natural environments anyway, so can't really blame them. But no, birds aren't actual government drones used to spy on you. But they are watching you closely, learning your patterns, remembering your actions, and responding accordingly. Which means the next time a bird locks eyes with you from a power line or a park bench, don't assume it's plotting anything sinister. It's just doing what birds have always done, watching the world around them, one human at a time.